How technology made these American jobs extinct. You see this ice cube. Before your freezer could even make one, an army of guys with giant saws would literally carve up frozen lakes. They carved out 300-pound blocks of ice and delivered them to your house. It was one of America's biggest industries, and then overnight it was gone. But the ice cutters weren't the only ones. We're about to uncover the insane stories of entire jobs that built this country, only to be completely destroyed by the one thing you can't stop: technology. We think tech moves fast now, but it's always been deleting jobs from existence. For every new gadget we can't live without, an entire job just disappears, leaving behind a ghost of a once massive industry. These were the careers of millions of people, not just words in a book. So today we're counting down 5 jobs that were critical to America before they got erased by new inventions. The ice cutters. First up, the ice cutters. Before we had refrigerators, getting ice was an insane business. From the 1800s all the way to the 1900s, thousands of workers waited for lakes to freeze over. Get this, a crew of just 75 guys could chop up 1,500 tons of ice in one day. They used plows pulled by horses to score the ice, then sawed it into massive blocks. This job was crazy dangerous. Men and horses would literally fall through the ice and freeze. They shipped this ice all over the country so people's food wouldn't spoil. But then one invention, the electric refrigerator, made their entire industry worthless. By the middle of the 20th century, every single ice cutter was out of a job. The switchboard operators. Imagine not being able to dial a phone number. For decades, you had to ask an operator to connect every single call. Sitting in huge rows, they would physically plug your call into a giant board. Fun fact, the first operators were teenage boys, but they were so rude and pulled so many pranks they all got fired. So they hired women instead, starting with Emma Nutt in 1878. She could supposedly memorize every number in the New England telephone book, like a human supercomputer. And the craziest part? Operators were in the perfect spot to listen in on anyone's conversation. But then automated switching was invented, and in 1951, the first direct dial long-distance call was made. The operators were officially obsolete. The Gandy Dancers. Before we had giant machines, America's entire railway system was built and fixed by hand. The workers who did this impossible job were called Gandy Dancers, probably named after the Gandy manufacturing company that made their tools and the crazy synchronized dance they did to align the tracks. They literally had to sing chants together just to make sure they all lifted at the exact same time. The safety of every train in the country was on their shoulders. But in the 1930s, new machines were introduced that could align tracks way faster. As the tech got better, the armies of Gandy Dancers just vanished. The telegraph operators. Before you had a phone, the fastest way to send a message was the telegraph. We're talking instant communication across the country. And the people who ran them, telegraphers, were like the original Google. It was a super high-skilled job. In 1861, Western Union finished a line across the entire country, meaning you could send a message from coast to coast in seconds. But the same technology that created their job is what destroyed it. Once Alexander Graham Bell's telephone got cheaper and easier to use, nobody needed to send messages in Morse code anymore. You could just talk to the other person, and the telegrapher job quietly died. The breaker boys. This next job is one of the most brutal things I've ever heard of. We're talking about kids as young as 8 years old working 10-hour days in a massive, dusty coal building. Their job was to sit over these super-fast conveyor belts of coal and pick out rocks with their bare hands. The conditions were unbelievable. The air was thick with coal dust causing lung disease, and kids were constantly losing fingers in the machines or even dying by falling into the gears. This insane job was finally erased by 2 things: new machines that could separate the coal automatically, and new child labor laws that finally made it illegal. So from guys on frozen lakes to kids in coal mines, technology has always been this crazy double-edged force, giving us incredible inventions while destroying old jobs. These jobs are gone, but it proves that our world is always being rebuilt by innovation. For everything we gain, something else gets left behind, and that is not stopping anytime soon. I have a challenge for you. What job that exists today will be completely gone in 50 years? Tell me your predictions in the comments below. And if you think these stories are as crazy as I do, subscribe right now so you don't miss the next video.